Thanks for joining us here on Bonfire Sports. Kickoff of the 109th Grey Cup is just hours away. And the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, of course, looking for a ultra rare three-peat and to build a dynasty in the Blue Bombers organization. My name is Darrin Bauming. Thanks so much for joining us all week here on Bonfire Sports. If you haven't yet, go check out the pregame show with myself and Chris Walby, and of course, Game Day After Dark, and our post-game coverage will be live here on Bonfire Sports. Zach Schnitzer will join me live after the game. But what I look at as one of the most important factors in the 109th Grey Cup is controlling the line of scrimmage and controlling the football. And at the tip of that spear is Winnipeg Blue Bombers running back Brady Oliveira. This is a born and bred Winnipegger, a young man who is 25 years old and still an amazing story early in his CFL career. Andrew Harris will be lining up across the field from the Winnipeg Blue Bombers tonight. Of course, his first two Grey Cup championships with the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, most recently the last two seasons. Brady Oliveira coming off a huge 130-yard rushing and 167-yard combined performance in the Western Final. Oliveira now has an opportunity to cement himself as the new Winnipeg born and bred tailback for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Here's my conversation from Brady Oliveira a little bit earlier this week. Brady Oliveira here at the 109th Grey Cup, and your third straight, but probably a very different experience for you. Have you come into this week with a different mental approach?
It's definitely different for me. I think, obviously looking at I have a starting role here for this Grey Cup, so I have an opportunity to go out there on Sunday and start in the biggest game of my career on the biggest stage. So I'm just really looking forward to the opportunity. And I think when you talk about preparation for myself, is anything different? I would say no. Just because, even the last two Grey Cups, obviously that first one in 19, I was sidelined with an injury, but I would say last year specifically, every single week I was preparing like I'd be the starter and knowing that one day I could be the starter. So I think by me having my mindset like that in the past and going out there every single week, in the weight room, in the meeting rooms, on the field, preparing that, hey, I'm the starter, even though I wasn't, has prepared me for times like this. So my preparation has been the same this entire week.
It was a big year for you. You hit 1,000 yards. You're the only fourth Canadian to hit 1,000 yards rushing in a season since 2000. But the preparation you made coming into this season, I imagine the physical is one thing, and you played a lot of football, but that mental preparation when you come into a season and there's all the conversation around the Winnipeg Blue Bombers after Andrew Harris and your personal relationship with him. So did you mentally prepare for a season where, you knew more would be demanded of you?
Yeah, and I think, coming into this season, I didn't know exactly what to expect. I didn't know what my role was going to be. My main goal was, hey, stay healthy every single game, step in, help this team win football games, whatever that role looks like. And, a little bit of slow start to my season. I had big shoes to fill, and the mental was just, hey, you got to maybe just get a little bit smarter, build that football IQ up, get close with the offensive line, get into a rhythm with them. And I think as, time went on during the season and my football IQ has grown, and every single day and every single week it's grown. And I think it's a big shout out and thanks to my running back coach. He does an incredible job with stressing the details and the importance of certain things in the run game, certain games in the pass game, and it's just built up my football IQ and has got me better as a football player. So just lots of people like my running back coach, Marty Costello, the O-line coach, my teammates, Zach helping me out, growing that football IQ to help me have success out there on game day.
And Kevin Burgoyne, your running back coach, of course. I wanted to ask you about that growth through the season. Tough first month for the run game as a whole. You've spoken about feeling the fan base and their reaction and that tough time and how it kind of, affected you personally because of who you are and how you identify really as a prideful Winnipegger. who helped you stay grounded, stay focused, and really concentrating on the things that matter?
Yeah, I think it would be my teammates that really helped me just stay focused, stay grounded, and just stay true to who Brady is. But who really sparked that, shift for me in the season when, there's lots of, dark days at the start of the season for myself. And, like you said, me being a proud Winnipegger, I just want to make Winnipeg proud. I want to make the Bomber fans proud. And when I was, scrolling social media and seeing, fans, not trusting me and not thinking that I can get the job done, it really did hurt. But Coach Burgoyne, Coach Bergs, my running back coach that was in 19, now he's coaching the receivers. He really sparked it for me, and he knows me best. Like I said, when I got drafted here, he was my running back coach, so we really built a great relationship as soon as I became a Bomber. And he took me aside against when we were playing Calgary at home, and it was probably one of the worst games of my career. And he kind of sparked it for me. And really just stated, you got to hit that hole, just hit it. We know what you can do. We trust in you. You wouldn't be here if we didn't trust you. So just play your game, Brady. And from then on there, he really sparked it. And then everything just started to click. I mean, I had so many great conversations with Coach Jason, my running back coach, and Coach Marty Costello, and then my teammates. I mean, they were the ones that truly believed in me since day one. Them and my coaches, and then especially that offensive line. I mean, they had trusted me since day one. So I think, they kept me grounded. They kept reminding me of who Brady is and just play Brady ball and go out there and play confident, play free, play calm.
Well, and your coach said that from day one. They want Johnny Augustine to be Johnny Augustine. You want Brady Oliveira to be Brady Oliveira. How do you see the responsibility of repping your city and maybe being a role model to, young boys and girls that look up to you for a variety of reasons, what you do on the field and what you do off of it as well?
Yeah, it's honestly probably one of the most amazing things about being a professional athlete and being, a professional athlete in my hometown is the fact that, you have so many people in the community that are looking up to you on a day-to-day basis, on the football field, off the football field, what you do in the community. And I hold myself to a high standard. I'm very prideful in what I do, off the field and on the field. And I know there's, lots of kids out there that look up to me, and I want them to continue to look up to me. And especially, talking about the football community in Winnipeg and me being a local and, alongside, Dembski, Jeff Gray, Mike Benson, able to show, Winnipeg kids that, hey, you got Winnipeggers playing for your Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and, if we're doing it, then why can't you do it? So I really take pride, and I really just want to, rep the city of Winnipeg because I'm a true Winnipegger.
There's a lot of veterans on this team and a lot of leadership. Your head coach has spoken at length through the years about the importance of letting the guys in the locker room take care of the guys in the locker room. But as a young player, I get the sense that you want to be a leader, and you're somebody, just in talking to your teammates, who have so much, they speak so highly of you despite you being a younger guy on the team. Is it tough to try to exhibit leadership as a young guy, when you have, an Andrew Harris as a teammate, or you have an Adam Bighill as a teammate, or a Zach Collaros right there?
Yeah, I agree. I'm not the guy that's going to be the, hoorah guy, really vocal. I think I just lead by example and how I move on a day-to-day basis. And, obviously being a younger guy, my mind, it's like, hey, you got to kind of prove yourself and before you can kind of, be a little bit vocal, move that in those directions and get people to follow your lead. And, my running back coach actually said to me this year, as we started to get some success, and he's like, you know what, Brady, you earned the right, to be on this team, to have a voice, to be vocal, and to lead this team to do great things. And I think I needed to hear that, it's okay for me to get up there and say my mind and to lead in a positive way and help this team win football games. So yeah, I definitely, consider myself a leader on this football team and still a young player in my career. And I just continue to want to just grow as a person, as a leader, and just help this team continue to win football games even past this season.
Your personal essay on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers website was outstandingly written, and I imagine inspirational to a lot of those, young people we just kind of talked about. Being naturally driven, being hungry, is it subconscious at this point? Talking to, say, Nick Dembski after the West Final, you had an outstanding game. He simply said, Brady's built for games like this. Is it something you think is just in your blood, or is it something that you focus on and try to work on all the time?
I think I'm just instilled with it, just being that natural drive and hunger. That's just, and going back to, in my words I was posting on bluebombers.com, just kind of, what I had to go through during a young age growing up, my childhood. And I think, that really stems of who I am as a person today and as a man. I think I'm just naturally driven. I just want to keep going and looking at pro sports, shifting it to, obviously we're people, but shifting at pro sports. I mean, once you have this spot, you don't want to lose it, but it can be taken away from you at any moment. So yes, it's naturally driven. I'm naturally driven and instilled in me, but I still work on a day-to-day basis. I know the position that I'm in right now, and I'm so grateful, and it's a blessing that I'm a starting running back for my hometown team, and I don't want to lose that. And I want to continue to be the starting running back for the Bombers for years to come. So I attack every single day. I work on it to make sure I work on my craft and be the best possible football player that I can be, and the best possible Brady that I can be.
Well, and people are hoping for the best Brady Oliveira on Sunday in the 109th Grey Cup. Thank you for this. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Darrin. Appreciate it.
Easy to be a fan of this young man, a born and bred Winnipegger like Nick Dembski, like Mike Benson, the Blue Bombers long snapper, like Jeff Gray, the starting offensive lineman. But for Brady Oliveira and the years ahead that he just spoke about, well, it's been a fantastic season for him, but that future begins today in the 109th Grey Cup. Thanks for joining us live here on Bonfire Sports. Really glad to have all of you with us. If you haven't yet, check out the pregame show with myself and Chris Walby. Other content up on the site as well. And Zach Schnitzer will join me, as he always does, for Game Day After Dark, Grey Cup edition, following Blue Bombers Argos tonight. Thanks, everybody. We will see you next time here on Bonfire Sports.